She was just gushing. Oh my god, so do you have a boyfriend now? I was like, what is going on? Hi, my name is Karen with the E, and you're welcome to my YouTube channel. So, I wrote down a couple of things that I would like to talk about today. As I was reading and meditating in the morning, I started to think about it, and I did not want to forget, so I wrote them down because I want to be sure that I'm not rambling on this video. So, I was thinking about the other day about how much I hate the process. People say keep going, be consistent, but nobody really talks about how daunting the process is. And for me, it felt like I've been in the process for 10 years because I've been doing this thing, this is my career thing for 10 years. And it feels like, oh, I've not gained any major momentum, especially this content creation, trying to put myself out there, and I still haven't blown. I still don't have that much followers. I don't have brands. Apart from my corporate side, I don't have brands that I'm working for. And it kind of can be daunting. And so I just realized that I hate the process. And as I began to think about it, I began to write things down. One of the things I said is that, yeah, I already said this. I feel like I have been in the process for years. And I know there are a lot of people who feel that way. Like you're just pushing, pushing, and everybody's like, oh, be patient, be consistent, da 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 da. But it's daunting. It is. Um, but one of the things I wrote again is that I feel like I've always attached my words to the numbers. So even though my life has changed over the years, it's not made a difference to me because my worth is attached to the numbers. And as I was thinking about it this morning, I realized that yes, because I have not seen 10k followers or 100k followers, I have not appreciated the growth that has happened in my life because how I was when I started is not where I am today. Like even as regards my earning power, what I can do, even with how I express myself, a lot has changed in how I am and how I have shown up over time. But because I haven't seen the big numbers, it's just made me not, appreciate like where I am. I feel like I have been taking my community for granted because there are no numbers. So most times when you post, you just have like 10 likes, you have 12 likes, and the views might be a lot. Sometimes the views are 700. Now that Instagram can show you views. And for me, when I see 10 likes or 12 likes, it's discouraging, honestly. But one thing I'm beginning to realize is that those 10 likes and 12 likes are consistent. They are the same set of people liking your pictures, liking your content. So that means that you have a community of 12 people constantly liking your content and you're not appreciating them. You're not coming up with things that you're not trying to find out what it is they like about your content. You're not coming up with more things that they would like. You're just thinking about the numbers. How do I get numbers? So because of that, I never want to build anything community. Last year I started the KUB community and I stopped because I just felt like an imposter just because the numbers are not there. So being in that state of I hate the process makes me not to appreciate the little that I have and to build a community. Another thing I realized is that I do not see myself the way I should. Is why I never want to start anything or build a community because I don't know what I offer. So, and it's not just me. I'm writing down things about me, but I know this would also speak to people. Like sometimes my friends always say this to me, like, man, Mo, you're like a big deal. Do you get what I mean? Like the way they talk about me. I remember because I wrote a book. I'm gonna keep saying it in all my YouTube videos. Buy my book, How to Be Single. I went out with my friend and she invited her sister. She had told me before that when she bought my book, she read it, she loved it, she wrote a whole notes about what she loved about the book. And she gave it to her sister to read as well. And her sister loved the book. She said her sister read it like 3 times, wrote about it, read it over and over again. So I got there and her sister was there. I didn't even know that that was the sister that read my book. And then we got talking and she was like, "Oh, your face is so familiar." I said, "Yeah, I wrote the book." And she was like, "Oh, that she loves the book so much. She has read the book like 4 times. She has, if you see her notes, that she wrote so much after reading the book that she gave it to her friend, that her friend went on a solo date immediately after the book. She was just gushing. Oh my God, so do you have a boyfriend now?" I was like, what is going on? So, because you've attached your words to the numbers, you cannot appreciate your little community. And in that moment, I was like, wow, somebody I don't know read my book, gave it to somebody I don't know, and the person went on a solo date. And I'm here beating myself up that the book has not sold up to 100 copies. Girl, do better. So I'm not saying that the numbers are not good, but I just realized that I've been stuck in the process. And being stuck in the process makes me not focus on outcomes. So, outcome A, I wrote a book, it was a success. Instead of me to see myself as someone who has achieved something important, you shot 100 content last year. That's not easy feat. Instead of you to see yourself as someone who has achieved something important, now you shot 100 content. Obviously, you've learned something from doing that. Now that makes you an expert. Those 12 people who have been liking your 100 content consistently, what can you now do to add value to their life? What can you now do, or what can you sell to them? But because you're so attached to the numbers, you just think you're just in the process. You're just there waiting for that big thing to happen. And I saw something on TikTok the other day, and she said that life is a compilation of the in-betweens. Those in-betweens that we do not appreciate is what life is all about. So another thing I wrote, even though the outcome has manifested what I just said, the things I know, who I have become is ultimately the reason we do what we do. But society has conditioned us to focus on the numbers. So as you're doing it, as you're shooting your content, as you're putting yourself out there, as you're doing whatever it is that you're doing, because this is not a one size fit all. You could be a lawyer, you could be a doctor, whatever it is you're doing, you automatically are becoming better as you're doing it. You're becoming an expert. The fact that I can talk now, someone the other day commented on one of my posts and says, "I love your voice. I never used to be able to speak like this. I used to stutter. I used to talk really fast. My English wasn't very good. It got better over time." That in itself is an outcome. But because the numbers are not so great, because I don't have 10K followers, I'm not able to appreciate the fact that I have become a different person, a better person because of this process. So I wrote here, I have a new way of saying it. I will create for 1 or 2 people who can relate to my journey. I will create because my creation is a gift. When God gives you a talent, use it. And that's going to be my motto this year. I'm going to create for that one person who's going to like this post on YouTube. I'm going to create for the 200 subscribers. By the way, I have 200 subscribers on YouTube. Don't play with me. Do not play with me. And if you're seeing this video, you better subscribe. So yeah, I'm going to create for the 200 people and I'm just going to leave it. Last year, one of my posts went viral. People were commenting, "Thank you. Thank you for posting it. Thank you for posting it." On YouTube here, someone was even saying, "Ah, the video is too short. Do a longer one." And here I am saying that I've not arrived. I will be less selfish and be more focused on how I am giving and not receiving. So the thing is, why we hate the process so much is that we're very selfish. We're just more focused on what we're going to gain from the process. What are you going to gain? Are you going to get more money? Are you going to get more followers? Are you going to get more likes? But the truth is, when you add value, it's not really about what you're receiving, it's what you're giving. So my mindset has changed from receiving to how am I helping people grow? And not in a how am I helping people grow because I want something back in return, but in a how am I helping people grow because I want them to be better. So, to the one or two people who have been with me through this journey, who have been with me for 10 years, 8 years, 5 years, 1 year, you've liked my content, you've read my articles, you've done everything, you've been there. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. Thank you for following me. Thank you for being in this process with me. Thank you for, being there for me. Another thing I wrote here is that if you want to buy a car worth 25 million, it's in the process that you brainstorm and strategize how you can get it and how you can make moves. So I'm reading a book titled When You're Ready, This Is How You Heal. And she said something. She said most times when people want to make changes in their life, they think of big changes. They think of turning their life upside down. But the change has to happen with where you are. So if you want to buy a car, you want to do something great, you have to make do with what you've been provided with. If I want to move to a bigger apartment, I want to shoot better content. But I have an apartment where I can shoot content already. I have a phone that I can use to shoot content already. I have to strategize on how to get the money to get a bigger apartment by already doing it. So the last one is the people who have made it in life made the most of the process. But what happens to people who don't make it is that they mourn the process. Instead of accepting, they are constantly in a state of reverie and, wanting. So, wanting cripples you because it makes you act out of desperation instead of clarity. So what this basically is saying is that the people who have made it, the people who have gone further, who have, blown, as we would say, is those people who have taken advantage of the process. Those people who have taken advantage of where you are. I always use Salem as an example. When Salem started recording, he was using black and white because he didn't have a good phone. Eventually, he got a better phone. Eventually, his content got better. So those who have made it are people who have stayed in the process, accepted the process, used it as a leverage. But the reason why you have not made it is because you are constantly in a state of wanting. As you are in that process, you are in a state of wanting, yes, in a state of reverie. Oh, I want this. Oh, I want that. Instead of making use of the process. So wanting keeps you in a state of constantly chasing instead of being in a state of clarity. I hope that with this viewpoint of mine, I haven't rambled a lot. And I hope that this impacts you. This is quite different from anything I've done. It's just basically me talking about my thoughts because I've been doing a lot of journaling lately and reading lately, and I want to be able to share that with you guys. Do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, share, like, subscribe, and drop a comment for me on YouTube. I'm trying to build my community on YouTube. Drop a comment if this touches you in any way. I love you.